Meanwhile, Global Affairs Canada says more than 97,000 Canadians, citizens and permanent residents are registered in the Middle East, and the agency is working on ways to help those stranded in the region. The CBC's Mark Carcassol joins us now with more on all of this. So, Mark, Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand released a new statement just a short time ago. What is she saying about ways for Canadians to return home?
Well, there are three specific ways, Arti, and all of them are fraught with a bit of difficulty. First, I'll give you the numbers. There are about 2,000 Canadians in the Middle East right now that are looking for help from the federal government to get back to Canada. According to numbers released earlier by the Foreign Affairs Minister, more than half of those requests are coming from Canadians in the UAE, 237 from Qatar, about 64 requests from Lebanon, 93 requests from Israel, and 74 requests from Iran. But Anita Anand releasing a statement on X a little earlier this morning where she talks about some of the difficulty in achieving all that. She writes, quote, "For Canadians who wish to depart the Middle East and Gulf region, we are working to facilitate your departures via charter flights, block bookings of seats on commercial flights, and ground transportation services when it is safe to do so." That version of transportation in particular is very difficult if you don't have diplomatic operations in a specific area. The government has also been sending officials to border crossings to help Canadians with visas. But the federal government has also issued several travel advisories for people who are not in the region yet, but may be thinking of going. Avoid all travel to, obviously, Iran, but other countries listed: Bahrain, Iraq, Israel, Palestine, Kuwait, Lebanon, Qatar, Syria, UAE, Yemen. I mentioned Iraq there. That is where Canadian Salim Omar was visiting family. Now he finds himself stuck there. He's been trying to find a way to be repatriated back home to get maybe on one of those flights. He says he's had great difficulty so far.
Problem, airport of Erbil is shut down. Then I have to fly again to Jordan, Amman. When I heard Amman is also not easy to fly, I think all the Middle Eastern airports now shut down. I called my travel agency yesterday, text them and called them, and he told me don't try because every airports in Middle East, they are not open. So I'm like here helpless.
Now, it's been a slow, difficult process, and it will likely continue to be, but some Canadians have successfully been returned home. For instance, the government did secure 75 seats on a flight leaving Beirut yesterday, getting some Canadians home. 200 with plane tickets were driven from Qatar to Saudi Arabia. The government says that arrangements like these will continue on. Officials are telling Canadians in Israel about a bus to Egypt, which will take them to airports that are still open. And it's not just Canada, right? It's people from all over the world in the Middle East right now trying to get to their various homes. A French plane carrying citizens from Oman to Egypt landed in Paris yesterday, with more flights like that to come. The U.S. State Department says about 18,000 citizens were returned. Mexico says about 280 of its citizens were returned. Spain has returned several of its citizens as well. Again, not always going smoothly, though. The UK, for instance, chartered a flight to bring people back via Oman. That was supposed to take off and land yesterday, but due to a technical issue, the BBC is reporting that that never happened. So they're trying that flight again today. But as things stand right now, the UK is still having difficulty bringing its residents back. More than 200 people from 16 countries departed Iran via land through neighboring Turkmenistan. That was something done with great difficulty, too. So it's very clear that right now, many countries obviously didn't know this was going to happen, and they're scrambling to get their people back through many different ways. But it is a tough process to arrange at this point, Arti.
Thanks for this, Mark. That's the CBC's Mark Carcassol reporting.